Nigeria. And we'll be looking at two key issues and others across the globe. We'll be looking at, first of all, what is going to be playing out as we look at local government autonomy, where the presidency has disclosed in the last 4 hours that the local government, the 774 local governments across Nigeria would start receiving their federal allocations directly into their coffers and not going through their state government. And that is going to be the basis of our discourse on today's edition of the program, The Desk. Sunday Dare, one of the media chieftains of the presidency, made this announcement this evening, saying that going from January 2025, all local governments will be receiving their federal allocations via the Federal Allocation Account Committee, marking a significant step towards local government autonomy. And I've got in the live studios my guest, who is a renowned political analyst and also who is from a state that is very strategic in the country. He is my guest in the person of Abdul Wahab. Adebo is my guest this evening on the program, The Desk. Good evening and thank you for joining me on The Desk.
It's my pleasure, thank you.
All right, first of all, I know that you are one of the advocates for local government autonomy. How does this make you feel now that the presidency, courtesy of the Media and Public Communications chieftain in Sunday Dare, announcing that going forward, from January this year, local governments will receive the allocations directly into their coffers. How do you think this is going to pan out? Do you think the local governments are also even prepared for what is to come, especially knowing that a state like Anambra has got a law recently passed by Charles Soludo, which also does not give the local government that right to receive allocations directly, but would come through the state government?
Thank you very much, Mr. Amamadu, for having me today. Good evening, viewers. You see, local government autonomy, by the name implies, has been in the Constitution right from time. You see, when you look at the state governors, sometimes they try to test the Constitution on their own. Someone started this. Otherwise, within the last 25 to 30 years, if you check, the local government were doing jobs. They were working. All the local government at that time were working because they were getting their allocation directly. How comes we are talking about the state joint account? How? That is why you see that some of the local government, we have 774 local government within the country. And if you check, how many of them can live up to their campaign promises? They cannot, because they don't even give them the money. The state will not give them the money. So we will look at what the president have just promised and what the Supreme Court have, the judgment of the Supreme Court, yes, that they have to be, the local government has to be autonomous on their own. Without that, they will not be able to deliver a dividend of democracy to the citizenry. And I think that is a good development.
All right, let's also look at the issue of in terms of now. It's one thing for the presidency to make this announcement, and this money, if it gets to the accounts, for states where the account is they still operate the joint account. What do you think the presidency can do? Because we know that the presidency did set up a committee that was supposed to ensure the implementation of these the court ruling. How do you think they can break the rank and file of these state governments? Especially for those states that they still operate the joint account?
You see, it's a case of give me a goat and you are still holding the rope. That's just the meaning. Because when you say the local government autonomy, local government autonomy they have to be on their own. The allocation has to come straight into the local government coffer to enable them deliver the booties of democracy, so to say. So if any local government is operating a joint account, that is not in tandem with the judgment of the Supreme Court.
Do you think the federal government can withhold these allocations as a way of forcing the state governors to break that joint account system?
I think the Constitution is silent on some part of this judgment. When you look at it, you see, the last arbiter in terms of adjudication of justice in this country is Supreme Court. Is the Supreme Court. Once the Supreme Court said the local government has to be autonomous on their own, who else? Why would the state continue to say they should operate a joint account? For what? You understand? We have three arms of government. You have the executive, you have the legislature, and you have the judiciary, isn't it? So when you look at it, the three tiers of government, the federal, the state, and the local government, they are not the same. The local government chairman must be seen to be working. You understand? That is why you see that even the feeder roads that goes into the hinterland are not being attended to. Farmers cannot come to nearby markets and sell their farm produce, all because the local government chairman cannot work because they don't even have the power to work. The state government is sitting on the money. They are sitting on the allocation. So they are living, the local government chairmen are living from hand to mouth, so to say. Okay, at the mercy of the governors.
Let's look at for the states that, because I think we have a Katsina state where everything is well and good, where the state governor has agreed that he would not interfere with the runnings of the local government. We've seen recently, just tomorrow, Ondo State will be having their own local government elections. Are you worried that the pattern we've seen in the last 1 year local government elections, the party at the center seem to always win all the local government, council elections holding? And do you think this would make it even easier for the state governors to still hold on to allocations from the local government once that trend continues, where once the party in the center is the one that wins the whole local government, instead of giving the chance to other parties, even smaller parties, to win at the local government levels?
Is it all about giving the chance to smaller parties to win an election in a democratic setup? The system has failed us. The system is not just working. When you are talking about local government autonomy where you said, all right, the Supreme Court has just delivered judgment that's supposed to take immediate effect, and you are giving us date where you start implementing it. Who is fooling who? Who is fooling who? You take it down to the election. When you have SIEC, the state electoral body that conducts this election, will they even bring the ballot papers out? They don't vote. They compile names of their cronies and announce them as winners of elections. And until the right thing is done, until the election of local governments are conducted either by INEC, the federal electoral system, if so long as the state electoral system continue to conduct that election, it will not work. It will work. Nothing will happen. Nothing will change. They are talking about autonomy. Autonomy what? When the commander-in-chief, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ahmed Bola Ahmed Tinubu, His Excellency, when he was the governor of Lagos State, and he created some local councils, LCDs. You saw what happened between him and the sitting president at that time. Till this very moment, those local governments are still in existence. They call them
local government.
The government centers. I think that's how they place them, and they are still working. But apart from that, no any state government has ever created any local government as far as this country is concerned. So it will not work. What is the interpretation of the Constitution about this? And why is the system not working? Why are we talking about autonomy for the local government when it is enshrined in the Constitution? Why are we talking about it? Who sees the power from the local government? And why is the law silent about it? The Supreme Court will give judgment, and somebody somewhere, even the president cannot thwart the judgment of the Supreme Court.
But do you think the electorates, residents and Nigerians at the local government have also not been participatory in this push for local government autonomy? Do you think if the people themselves also come out, protest, make their voices heard, try to also insist, the government, the state government could as well also bend? Just like when we put pressure on the federal government when Nigerians seem not to be okay with some policies.
My brother, there is hunger in the land. And so long as the people are hungry, there's nothing like protest. Protest what? A hungry man that is supposed to be an angry man is just giving a loaf of bread to keep quiet. And that was all. Because of the hunger. You understand? Until we discover that we are being pushed. They have ruled their own time and ruling our own. They are not even ruling our own generation again. They've passed us. Only God knows that until this crop of generation, crop of politicians are withered off to give way to the younger politician, we might not see the end of what we are seeing. Local government what? What is happening in Ondo? Is it Oyo State or Ondo? You say
there are going to be elections tomorrow
in
Ondo State.
In Ondo State, the same thing will play out. When
does it mean the other political parties do not do campaigns, do not try to woo the electorate in order to say, give us a chance to also offer you the dividends of democracy?
I know what I'm talking about. I'm a politician. The state electoral body will bring out everything, forms, people will buy form, they'll fill the form, they will go all through the processes. But when it comes to the election day, nothing will happen.
When you say nothing will happen,
they will just bring out one ballot box to an undesignated polling unit created by them overnight, where when they are doing what they are doing, they will bring people there, they will line up, count them as you can see, and you can hear there. They will declare the result and nothing will happen.
What of the security agents? Is it also where the security agencies, INEC themselves, they usually do have those who come from the federal to come monitor these elections? Are you saying these people do not exist, or they do not just show up on that day?
In a democratic setup, security is even the major aspect of governance. But in our own case, they are all partners in crime. That's the truth about it. Security or no security, all these acts they are seeing. You see, I saw something on the social media, the tribunal sitting in Edo State. Yes. You see some people fighting in front of the security. In front of the security. So that is why at all times, each time I talk, I'll tell you that the system has failed us. A situation where the 3 arms zone, where the Supreme Court is located, judgment is passed. Those that are claiming victory will attack those that failed from the court.
Or is that what happened to Ajaka?
I'm trying to paint the picture of what happened there. My pain is not the attack. My pain is the environment where the attack took place and nobody was arrested. Within the 3 arms zone, the villa is there, the Supreme Court is there, the appeal court is there. Within the same, the vice president's residence is within the same enclave. These people attack the Supreme Court and went scot-free. Nothing is said about it till today. So has the system not failed? How do they get out of that place? How do they get there with those weapons? Sure. A minute drive to the presidential villa, to the seat of power. You went and you are fighting at the premises of the Supreme Court, the highest court of the land. So when you talk about security, my brother, we are being protected by God. We are being protected by God. Look at the gory pictures you are seeing on the social media everywhere. Today you hear one man is beheaded, a lady is beheaded and butchered. The only thing you see is paparazzi. They will just interview that person 1 or 2 days and he's gone. The dead is gone. They will tell you so many stories. The dead is unfortunately cannot get up to tell us his or her own part of the story. But what is the security? What is the security doing about it? In those days when they talk about CID, they say police CID. Today you know if a police CID is coming, you know this man is a CID. In those days, do you know who is a CID? By the time they finish checking you, investigating you, they will just come for you. And that is how in an ideal society, that's how it's supposed to be. For me, the security is nothing to write home about, as far as I'm concerned. I saw an interview, I saw where the IGP came to defend their budget. Yes, the police is grossly underfunded. We know this. What is the problem? Why can't that be remedied? Why can't that be corrected? Why? Year in, year out, we continue to sing the same song and we expect to get a different result? My brother, I don't think we have to pray. We have been praying. In fact, I see that God is even in Nigeria. Otherwise, this country, for what we have been going through, and Nigeria is still remaining one entity. My brother, God is seeing us, and God will smile at us.
All right, let's get back to before we move to the next talking point. Still on the local government autonomy, can we hold the security agencies? Yes, we've always said the judiciary has been compromised, but now that the Supreme Court has made its judgment, and everybody has agreed that there's need for local government autonomy, and they have ruled in favor of local government chairmen, and we've seen Algon come out to say they're ready to get their funding directly and they're ready to bring development to the people. Do you think there's need for enforcement, this implementation and enforcement? Can't the security agencies help enforce this ruling by the Supreme Court, and also the committee set up by the presidency, which the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, is leading? Are you saying they're not strong enough? They do not have the capacity or the support to enforce this across board?
Local government autonomy is just by the name. Just by name. The state governors will appoint the state electoral commissioner and then supervise everything that happened in that place. When you say autonomy, yes, you have given money directly to the governors. Did you give them the power to conduct their election by themselves? When they don't have the power, so long as they continue to be answerable to the executive, the state executive, there is nothing they can do. Autonomy or not autonomy, give them money, the governors will collect it back. How did they come there in the first place? How was the election conducted? They brought them there. What is behind the scene is what you don't know. Yes, collect money directly. Go and spend it, Alexi. How do you want to spend it? 1 minute you resign yourself. I'm telling you, they will impeach you. No governor can try that. Until the enforcement you are talking about has to be in tandem with what the Constitution say about what we are discussing. Except they want to say they are outlawed. Otherwise, enforcement. The president cannot just get up and say he's enforcing those, how the money is going to be.
But what if they refuse sending or allocation, the state allocations? Saying, okay, if you get touch X amount which belongs to the local government, you do not get yours, and if you get yours, it's going to be deducted. Can that be done?
What did the Constitution say about it? How come do they even have power, have access to local government funds?
But no, the federal government,
constitutional.
But the allocation, the fact that when it's sending the money, it can't send the money directly to the local government coffers, and not necessarily the state. or are you saying it's impossible for the local governments across board to open their own separate new accounts? Can that also be an option?
If you want them to open as many accounts as you want, they will. But so long as that money is coming directly into their account, there's an unseen law that you are not seeing. Money is in your account, but you cannot touch it until you have directives from the executive of the state. You can't. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you. The local government, look, the crop of politicians you are seeing today from the local level, when you see some of them are boys that they were born in our presence. And so if they are doing something, you will know. They can't hide what we know. Some of the governors.
But why?
Let me tell you, when El-Rufai was the governor of
Kaduna State, yeah,
he tries this. He tries to allow local governments to use their allocations. But yet, upon all this that we were visibly seeing at that time, when he left office, what were they shouting about? Corruption. Corruption. How? And how did it happen? Why didn't we see it? That's to say we don't have the eyes to see. The type of eyes they have, we don't have. So it's not something when you discuss autonomy of local government from today till next year, you turn around and come to the same spot where you took off from. They will pay the money directly into the local government coffer. But the local government chairman cannot spend that money
can't the people, that's what I'm talking about, the electorate.
They are hungry. They are hungry. They can't protest.
But what of the civil society organizations at that level?
Let me tell you something. When you talk about protest today, count me out. I am tired. I can't run. I can't stand tear gas. You understand? Except you want to kill yourself. The same security you are talking about. Take police for instance. Because I'm using them as example because they are our friends. By the time a policeman retires, his take-home pay as pension or gratuity. My brother, if you see it, you will pity them. And when you are fighting this type of cause, the same people that will attack you with their tear gas is the same police. It's the same police. So, my brother, we are at the crossroads. We are at the crossroads. You never can tell. Look at what we are going through. Did you ever imagine that you will buy petrol within the space of 1 year from 145 naira to 1,250 naira per liter? Did you ever imagine? So what are we driving at? Where are we going? They said it's coming down. It's coming down 1,000 naira, 940. That is the coming down. Are we no longer producing this particular commodity in this country? Where is the subsidy money? Where is the proceed from subsidy? Where is it? Why are we going down? Why can't the cartel be broken? Year in, year out, government in, government out, the same story. So for me, on personal note, on a lighter note, I don't have anything to fight for as far as this country is concerned. I'm in Nigeria, but I'm not fighting for anything anymore. Whatever that comes my way, alhamdulillah.
Very sad commentary there. Right, we are still on the desk and we're looking at local government autonomy, where the presidency this evening announced that henceforth from January 2025, all monies allocations will be paid directly into local government accounts. But my guest, who is in the studio, and the person Abdul Wahab Yahya Adebu, is saying that he still does not see this coming to pass, as happenings at the state levels would not permit it. We'll go for a quick break. When we return from the break, we'll be looking at other issues making the rounds. Please stay with us. The break, is still watching the desk on Global Television. My guest is still in the studio. He is a political analyst in the person of Abdul Wahab Yahya Adebu joining us live in the studios as we look at key issues making the rounds. We've dealt with the local government autonomy where the federal government through Sunday Dare, the publicity and communication chieftain of the presidency has informed that from January 2025, all local government across the 6 geopolitical zones will be receiving their federal allocations directly from this month. But my guest does not still agree that all is well with local government autonomy and believes more needs to be done for that policy to come to life completely. All right, let's move on to the big news coming from the Court of Appeal right here in the Federal Capital Territory. This Friday, in a few hours ago, the Court of Appeal has reaffirmed Julius Abure as the national chairman of the Labour Party, saying it has not found any reason why not to back the Justice Emeka Nwite's earlier ruling confirming Julius Abure as the national chairman of the Labour Party. Does this, initially, when Justice Emeka Nwite made that ruling, some people, especially those in the Labour Union, did say judiciary was already compromised and it had the backing of some people in the presidency. That was why he got that ruling. But now the Appeal Court has reaffirmed Julius Abure. Looking at the issue of the Labour Party, do you think the NLC has a case when they say they registered this party, they have the documents in their office right here, and so they deserve or they have the right to make statement as to which direction the party should go? And some have said the success they had in the last election is what has driven Labour Party to this into the woods where they are currently.
Well, what you are seeing as far as Labour Party is concerned is the political aspect of NLC is where you hear all these issues coming from. What is even the functions of NLC, the Nigerian Labour Congress, that registered the party in the first place?
They're not supposed to be partisan.
They are not supposed to be partisan. They are not. And then by virtue, that's why I said it is the political aspect of it.
But do you blame the NLC, the INEC and those agencies that approved or led the processes for them to become a political party? Wouldn't we blame for allowing that to even say true, knowing that the NLC...
It is not only in this country. Even in the Western world, UK have sometimes where you see that the Labour Party rules the government, even in UK. So registering...
But the Nigerian Constitution does not support that.
No, it's there in the Constitution. We have the power to register. The NLC have the power to have their political wings. But their inability to sustain or to manage that particular aspect is where you're having this from. Julius Abure is a seasoned technocrat. When you look at it, he's a Labour man. He has been there over time. I know him very well. He has been there over time. Even when they were doing all these wranglings, they said this is not okay, the Congress wasn't organized well, and so on and so forth. We followed it. And you can hear what the judiciary is doing. If the judiciary is saying that, look, this man is the rightful chairman of the party, good and fine. You understand? If they are doing it the way they are doing it now, nobody will see judiciary has been compromised as far as this particular matter of Labour is concerned.
But with this affirmation now by the Appeal Court, where does this leave NLC? And for Julius Abure, does he give him the final nod to lead the party to where he thinks they should be going?
Exactly. Julius Abure is not the NLC president, but he is the Labour Party chairman. These are two different offices. Labour Party chairman is a branch of the NLC. NLC is the...
But do you have an answer why they are not comfortable with Julius Abure?
It's politics. It's politics. The meaning is political. Nothing more than that. You can't say you are not going to see. Even when Abdul Salam was the chairman of Labour Party, Julius Abure was the secretary. He has been around. So he does not jump from somewhere to become the chairman of the party. You are getting my point.
Yeah.
He's someone I know, and I know that something must be wrong somewhere.
All right, let's enter into our last discourse as we wrap up the program. We're going to Kogi State. Something very interesting is happening in Kogi State, where the Usman Ododo-led government has brought out a new policy that seems to be a new liquor to those residents of Kogi who are mostly in the rural areas and those who have their kids in universities and tertiary institutions across the state. Where the new policy says there must be an attachment of the document, the tax clearance document for students to be able to register their courses in universities. We have the Federal University Lokoja there and other state-owned universities. What does this, you're from Kogi State, what does this mean to the people of Kogi State, especially for people, we know it is state, civil servant state, and so the Ajaokuta still has not started rolling, so we cannot say there are so much companies there. And what would this do to children of the less privileged, so to say, or middle class?
Yes, that's our concern in the first place. When you look at that memo, although we are trying to dig deep into
the source of the memo,
because I am an indigenous of Kogi State, and the governor there now, His Excellency Usman Ododo, for me, it's not doing badly at this point. I must confess, it's not doing badly. But then, is he aware of this memo? Because it's unheard of that for a student, both returning and new ones, coming before you register or before you pay your tuition fee, you will have to attach tax clearance of your parents. I think it's unheard of. I've never heard of this. So I don't want to believe yet. Like I said, we are still digging deep into it to see if that memo actually emanated from the governor's office.
If it is, what would this do to students now? What would that mean? Especially for students who their parents are in the rural areas, who are not the informal sector, so to say, the artisans and others.
How are taxes paid? How are the people taxed? How do they pay tax?
And especially with the new tax reform bills that are supposed to be coming anytime soon.
Exactly. We are aware of that. But what I want to know, for instance, using a Kogi State like this memo as a case study, from the villagers, from the farmers that suffer farm and try to sell their produce to send their wards to the school, where they've not even seen, what are they paying for? What tax are they talking about? They are not enjoying good roads, no water, no light, no nothing, no nothing, absolutely. And you said the word of that person, the child, should not register without the tax clearance of the father, who is a peasant farmer, who lives deep into the forest, where they don't even know whether they are there or not. The only time they know is during politics. You drive there, pour them dust, and then that's the end. After the voting, they don't even remember that they ever passed that route. So, for me, I'm not seeing that as it's an ill-advised policy. And I want to believe that His Excellency, going by the outcry that followed the emergence of that memo, I think His Excellency, I think, like you heard me say that the man is not doing badly. I've seen him from the onset. I looked at his composition. I looked at his disposition to people's issues. People said he pays salary at the normal time now, which has been a case of Kogi State, where they were owed salary for about 9 to 10 months sometimes.
During the past administration.
Exactly. He pays salary now. I don't know, but my people are there. So long as they receive their salary as at when due, once they say it, we should mention it. But apart from that, infrastructure decay is there. That nothing is working apart from paying salary. I talk from here now, using this opportunity for His Excellency to take a dive into some of those areas. Infrastructure, health.
But what is the problem with the Kogi State government? Why are they not forthcoming in terms of infrastructure development in the state, in terms of even Lokoja, the state capital?
The system has failed us. When a winner takes all, how will development take place? The opposition are perceived to be their enemies, and without the oppositions, they wouldn't have been there in the first place. There must be somebody to contest with you for you to become the chief executive of the state. But after the contest, what do you see? The oppositions are all enemies of the state. That's it. So they will do that till the next election. But it's not a problem. I just pray that the governor will look at what he met on ground and what people are saying about him now to try to improve on it.
All right, we will be watching keenly. Hopefully, in the next couple of weekends, we might even pay a visit to Kogi State to find out how through, or get someone in the Federal University in Lokoja to confirm if it's true that there's a memo to that effect, and we'll be getting back to you on the desk. Hopefully next week we'll ensure we get you those details. I want to say thank you very much for joining us on the desk.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
All right, that has been my guest, Abdul Wahab Yaya Adebu, who is one of the political party chieftains, and he comes from Kogi State, like you can already tell, helping us look at issues making the rounds from local government autonomy to issue of Labour Party. The court, appeal court in Abuja here this evening, affirming Julius Abure as the national chairman of that party, and of course the memo making the rounds in Kogi State saying students must present the tax clearance of their parents for them to register courses in their schools, which is technically inimical to those who are in the informal sector. That's the size of the desk from today's edition. My name is Anthony Mumadu saying thank you for joining me on today's edition. Hopefully on Monday we'll be coming with other big interesting talking points, and as we give you very balanced insight to big issues. Good evening.